All right, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an stspod.club production. This is Hit Me With Your First Shot. That's right. Welcome to the fourth episode. I'm the longtime producer of The Record Store. Now, each episode of this podcast will feature a guest that will bring to me their first album they ever bought. We'll review it. I'll listen to it for at least a couple times, talk about it, and have some fun. Tonight's guest is bringing us back to the first album they ever bought, and trust me, it's a good one. Welcome, Bruce McGee. And, spoiler alert, look at the background there, and it will let everyone know kind of what you brought to us. So tell everybody what you brought to us.
I brought to you Out of the Blue from ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, back in 1977. So that's my brother.
So when I started this podcast, and this is only episode 4, the idea was, it was going to be different. Everyone's first album is different. Somewhere down the line, someone's going to have the one that I had, and maybe we will sit down and talk about my first album with them. But I also knew, I didn't think it was going to happen this quick. There's going to be people that bring albums that I never listened to, ever. Never put it on my turntable. This was released in 1978, and by all accounts that I can remember, I didn't buy my first album till 78. This is 77 in October. It's a double album, this is our second double album we're reviewing. Right. But this one's 72 minutes long. That's all it is, with 2 albums. Didn't know much about ELO. They was really off my radar as a kid, but after listening to this more than once, 2, 3, 4, by the 4th time, I thought this guy was, a genius with all the lyrics and the musical arrangement and all that. I was like, man, I might be able to get into more of their albums. But tell me about buying this album, and then we'll go over the first album, which includes side 1 and side 2. But can you remember buying it, and why was this the one you picked?
Well, I've been in music all my life. I mean, I was introduced to music at a very young age. Johnny Cash, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, stuff back in like 1968. My sister was doing the Four Seasons, Leslie Gore, all these other things. So I've had a well-rounded musical assortment thrown at me. And my mother bought me a guitar when I was like 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I just plucked on that thing. For some reason, my first concert was not ELO. It was a concert called Day on the Green in Oakland, California. It happened to be Peter Frampton, the Outlaws, a bunch of the old guys right now. But I also remember hearing Queen at that time. I remember hearing The Who. All of them had kind of like rock operas going on, but I was really not turned on by Queen. I really wasn't kind of a Who type guy. And then I heard ELO for some reason. In fact, I heard ELO out of the New World Record before I heard Out of the Blue. Why I bought Out of the Blue, I don't know. But the whole thing is that I was turned on by the amount of noise behind Jeff Lynne when he wrote these songs. He purposely wrote these songs with a symphony behind him. And to me, it was like a rock opera, and it was like an epiphany. I'm going like, man, I love this music. It's freaking cool. And there we go. I bought almost, every one of their albums after that. I bought Out of the Blue. I bought El Dorado. I bought Discovery. I got almost all their albums. So, I don't have some of their younger stuff, but I do have most of the stuff that was Out of the Blue and forward. So that's
one of those things where at any time in your life, you're able to discover new music. It might not be new music. I mean, this is 1977, so it might not be new music, but I was excited about listening to something. Now, when I first listened to it, without listening to it, with just putting it on, I was like, man, I really do. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I kind of read up, and they said, well, they like to put rock and pop with classic strings and, orchestra orchestra and all that stuff. And I said, I don't know. As I listened to it over and over, I really got into it. Being the first time I ever listened to it and coming out of it, the one thing I could say about this album, and these songs is, man, it is the 1970s. It sounds like the 1970s and the early 80s music. I mean, it is right there. So let's get started on the first side with the first song. The album starts out with Turn to Stone.
Yes.
The lyric Turn to Stone when you were gone, I was like, really? This dude this girl left him and he's wanting to, say how pathetic he really is. Is that what you got out of that song?
That's what I got out of it for sure. But basically, like, when I wasn't into lyrics at that time, other than the fact that it was just like, it was poppy and stuff.
Right.
But I would grab my guitar and actually just try to emulate what he was putting down at that time. And at that time, I didn't know that I had an ear for music, right? So I mean, I never actually read a note of music in my life. I have a gift of being able to hear the music and play the music. And it took me a little bit to get it going on, but basically the lyrics of the song really aren't what actually brought me to the music. It was actually the music itself.
The music part.
Wow. And his just writing of it. I mean, I didn't know anything at the time about writing. I was just like, it was actually when I bought this album, it was 1978. I was already in the Air Force. And doing some time in the Air Force. And I bought this when I got to Tucson, Arizona. And so I bought the album, and then I had an 8-track player in my car, so I bought the 8-track tape too. So
don't you love that, the 8-track? Oh my God!
Turn to Stone, and that was one of the ones that was pretty popular on the radio at that time, so it got a lot of airplay.
Yeah,
there's a couple of them here that got some airtime. A lot of them didn't. That's the thing about Jeff Lynne, was kind of an acquired taste. He wasn't quite out in the open yet. I mean, what he, you got the Traveling Riddleberries, which he's part of. He's part of that. He's part of that crowd. So I mean,
right. I mean, you can hear
all those guys. Yeah,
you can hear it in Tom Petty's music too.
Yes,
if you listen to some of the Tom Petty stuff, you can hear. I wrote down Steve Miller Band, Beatles, and Pink Floyd. It's what I wrote down when I'm listening to this. The next song, well, we know for sure Some Girl Broke His Heart. It's Over. I like it. It wasn't like my favorite song on the album, but I did like it.
How many times I've sung that song and my heart was broken.
I really thought I got my heart broke a lot of times, but I can really say it's only been truly probably once, and it was by the same girl twice. So there you go. How's that go?
But I tell you, with the it's over, it's over, it's over.
Right.
Bump, 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 and then it goes into it, and it's just one of those things where you feel like you're just like you're on a ride. You really are. In fact, I went to the concert in 1979. To ELO when I came home for Christmas to California, and ELO just happened to be playing, and it's exactly like the album. I mean, they play exactly like the album, but the performance, the ship was there.
I know. I read that.
The ship was a clamshell, and it would open. It would open up, and it was just nothing but fog machines, and you see the lights right there, and it's just like it was an experience. And when you go listen to ELO, it's a story. I mean, the actual story. El Dorado is probably one of the albums that's best in that, and it tells a whole story through the whole album. And the fact that it came out in CD really kind of ruined that segue in between the tracks and stuff like that. Out of the Blue is different than that. It's a track, it's over, and it's another track, and then it's over. So ELO kind of progressed through their albums to actually run a story through them. But it's over was great.
Yeah. That's what the very first of it. It's all about this. The third song is probably, would you say, the most popular song off of this album, Sweet Talking Woman?
I would say so.
Yeah. I remember hearing it, like I said, not an ELO fan, but listening to classic rock. We had Rock 103 out of Memphis, Tennessee. this song played a lot. And one of those songs where you just listen to but really don't know who they are. You know the lyrics to it, you're listening to it. Real catchy song, and really not, to me, it's a lot. It is same but different. Does that make any sense?
It's just got
It
it's got
is
a pop to
ELO,
it.
but it's a catchy song. So
It's got a Beach Boy
yeah,
thing
yeah,
to it. It's
yeah.
got a Beach Boy rhythm. I was searching on a one-way.
Yeah, yeah.
I was hoping.
Yeah.
I'll ham it up if you let me.
I did. It's all right, man. That's what it's all about here.
And
So finally we had, and they mentioned this, they take, everyone analyzes albums, and they talk about this side one was all about from heartbreak to renewal, and the final song of it is called Across the Border, and it's, I didn't really, I heard it, but he said it was Latin inspired, is what Jeff Lynne said on this one.
It's not my favorite song out of the whole album, but it, like I said, it's got that, it starts weird. It just starts weird. I think that's what it is. And then it gets, everything's either a crescendo in or crescendo out. That's kind of the way Jeff Lynne kind of, produces his music. And it's a very poppy song. I mean, no problem. I like it. In the heat of the day, many miles away, as the sun is raining down across the mainstream. So I mean, it's a cool song.
Yeah,
but
high energy.
Not one of my not one of my favorite songs.
All right, that was side one. Let's go ahead to side two of the first album. I can't believe the double album, two shows already. But
I tell you what, for a double album, I mean, I was surprised when I got it. And it was a double album. I didn't, at the time, I was just going like, oh, cool, man, the double album and stuff like that. But there was all kinds of goodies in the album.
That's what I was going to. I want to ask you, did they? Because this was one of my things that I really, and the guy that did the record store with me, one of his pet peeves was he just really liked the lyrics inside the album.
Right.
Was the lyrics inside this album?
The lyrics were inside the album, and also there was a poster of this.
Oh, wow, of that. Oh, awesome,
right
awesome, awesome.
I'm not sure if it was limited editions that came out with the poster, but I got a poster. So
that's
it's not this poster, and that poster is long gone and far away.
Right. Yeah.
I've been one of those guys that, I can kick myself in the ass for all the stuff I've gotten rid of in my lifetime.
I did too. I recently, about 15 years ago, I remarried, and I just kind of started over. I got rid of a lot of stuff, and it was sad at first, but then I was like, man, it felt good to get it off my shoulders. So,
yeah.
All right, let's start with side two. This song, and I don't know, not in the city. This really it has I'll say this a couple of times on these songs, but it has a Sgt. Pepper's sound. Am I right there?
Yes,
about that?
you're right. You're right. The way it starts is dun, 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 and it's an easy riff to play. It's just a D and a D augmented, and it's just like back and forth. It's a real easy song to play. But Night in the City is probably one of my favorite tunes on this album. It's just got that it's got that, I want to call it swishy sound. It really does.
I mean, I like it. It's sound. It's one that I put to the side there.
Yeah, but when you're there live and listening to it, man, that is one of the songs where people are just like, they're on their feet and going crazy. It was a good song to be there. I mean,
did ELO ever do any? I went to laser light shows, but I always got. I didn't smoke a lot of weed back in my college days, but we did partake in a lot of alcohol. But we, drink some alcohol, get a good buzz, and you go to the laser light show. Mine was Pink Floyd. I always went to the Pink Floyd one.
Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, very much so. Did they ever do these? Did they ever?
I'd never been to a light show where they had ELO going on.
I thought about that. I was like, man, this might have been a really good. And I don't know. Let my listeners tell me this if I'm wrong, But dude, you sound like one of Cheech or Chong. I don't know which one you are, but you do sound like you got the same accent. So it's kind of funny. So here I am.
I never knew that California people could have an accent. So
yeah, I know. Well, me too. I mean, I'm from Arkansas and Missouri, so I don't have an accent. Damn, you do. Starlight's the next song. This kind of romantic. Romantic song to it. Not really one of my favorites, but it's still got the music and everything. Like you said, it's kind of like ELO is about the music, not about the lyrics.
It's the one you can turn on when you're going to be, fancying your date.
Oh well, we'll talk about that on the Patreon. Yeah, save that. Well, that's what the Patreon's all about. You're probably going to laugh about this, but the next song is one of my favorite songs on the album. I know. I looked at all of the criticism of this song. Jungle, he starts talking about standing in the jungle, and all I could think about, dude, how much weed or LSD did you have when you did? And then they have that what is it? Chuchaku, hula, what are they saying? Yeah.
Kuta, hula la.
Yeah. I love it. It's so fun. It's such a fun song.
But basically, next to across the border. That's one of the other ones that was my least favorite song. But the jungle, it's cool. Like I said, I struggled to find a bad song on this album, or within the three albums of New World Record and Out of the Blue and El Dorado. It wasn't into Discovery until you had some of the stuff that you were just went like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. All right. The next song is, and I put this is just the instrumental, kind of introducing. What is it now? I've heard it pronounced a couple ways, but is it a vocoder or
It's a vocoder, and it's a vocoder to Stepping Out. So, in the CD. Doesn't do it justice. You have to have the album because the album actually blends the two together. And shame on the company, whoever produced the CD. It sucks because there's a gap in between it, and I hate it. But Believe Me Now is probably the best track. It's only 1 minute and 21 seconds, but it is the best track that leads into another track called Stepping Out. And that is where he gets his freedom.
Right.
That's where he gets his freedom.
It is. That's the Stepping Out song is. It's over, and he's finally, like you said, gets his freedom. Love Stepping Out. That I put love this song. I really did. I thought it was one of those songs where, it's ending the first album, and you're thinking, well, it feels like the end of the first album. The vocoder, what's up with that? It's used by a bunch of people, and it reminded me. See, I had to go study a little bit about it, but it reminded me of some, Peter Frampton used to do, but that's not what Peter Frampton was using, was it?
No. He would he would have stuff that's a little longer in stride with his stuff. Like what was it? There's one that he did before he did Give Me Money or something like that on his live album. But it was really long. It was probably a 3 or 4 minute intro into that song, but nonetheless good. But this one, Believe Me Now, is just one of those ones where I attune to it like if you're listening to Animals, Pink Floyd Animals. There's parts of Animals where you just turn it up, boom, man, because you want to hear what the hell's going on during that lead or something like that. Believe Me Now is that way for some reason for me. I don't know why, but I crank it up and Believe Me Now, even though it's a really, really soft, vocoder intro to another track. It's really, you really need to. I'm a loud listener to music, but I go up and down depending on really what I want to listen to.
I'll have to go back and listen to this as one song instead of because I felt out of place. The version I listened to was YouTube
in the album. It could be out of place, but how it syncs up with Stepping Out is perfect. I think
I'll have to do that. All right, before we go to commercial break and we come back with halftime, See, what made you choose this album as your first? Did you answer that one?
I believe so. I believe
All
no,
right.
I believe just because of the fact that I had listened to ELO, on the radio and stuff like that. And actually I made the mistake because I wanted to buy New World Record. That's what I really wanted to buy. They both looked the same. And I grabbed out of the blue. No,
oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I was not disappointed.
Well, okay. Since you remember grabbing it and everything, where did you buy your album at? Where'd you buy this one at?
This was in Tucson, Arizona. When I was stationed in Tucson, Arizona, they stuck me in a missile silo back in the day. And I didn't have my finger. My finger wasn't on the button, but I was part of the missile launch crew, the Titan II missile launch crew out of 390th Strategic Missile Squadron in Tucson, Arizona, out of Davis Mountain Air Force Base. And it is no longer. I don't believe it's no longer a SAC base there.
And you bought it on the base at the.
I bought it on the base. Yeah, I bought it on the base.
What do they call those places on the base?
The package store.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
It was called a package store. You can buy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what was happening in your life when you bought it, but you just went through that. So, did you think that by buying ELO and buying this album, did that make you cool? You had your pulse on the music industry?
I was into hot rods. I was looking for something. I was one of those guys that, you had your stereo in your car, but you took your stereo speakers out of your house and you put them in your backseat of your car so they can be as loud as possible. And I would, I would cruise up and down the main street in Tucson and just try to blow the doors. I had a 71 442 at that time. I should have never forgot. I should have never got rid of that car. It's a $60,000 car right now, but
I want to be honest with you, Bruce. I know nothing about cars. Only color. I don't even know what car we own. The wife drives the car more than I do. I can't even tell you. I had had 3 1974 Ford Mavericks.
Okay, I had a Ford Maverick. I wish I still had it.
I still had mine too. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, as we always do, it'll be halftime. Get ready, wrestling fans. MCW is bringing you the action like never before. Experience the high-flying moves, the bone-crushing slams, and the rivals that can only be settled inside the square ring. This is family-friendly live professional wrestling at its very best. Don't just hear about it. Be there when the superstars of MCW collide in unforgettable matches you'll talk about for weeks. Tickets are affordable. The action's nonstop, and the excitement is guaranteed. MCW Wrestling, where the future of wrestling happens now. Be there.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Sunday, November 2nd, Scorpio Sky returns to Memphis Wrestling, plus viral sensation Famous Amos. Sunday, November 23rd, TNA and NXT star Frankie Kazarian is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Then Monday and Tuesday, November 24th and 25th, Memphis Wrestling Kids Camp returns. Register now. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
All right, back from commercial break. It's time for halftime. I'm always surprised at how many people dance with me for that. I love it. Thank you, Bruce. All right, some fun facts. 10 fun facts. Jeff Lynne wrote this song in 17 tracks in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Awesome. It was a constant. He was inspired by the days of constant rain, is what he says.
Yes.
The rain store and we're going to talk about side 3 inspired the rainy day and all that stuff on side 3, the 4-song suite. The spaceship theme become ELO's trademark, and I want to say this you're going to just you're going to think I am just the most silly child, but I remember I was 11 years old when this came out. By the way, the guy that designed this also worked on Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff.
Yes.
The ship and the logo, which is behind you. I'm going to put some stuff up here. So here it is again, a bigger shot of it real quick.
Yep. What does that remind
you?
You
know what all I could think of? Here we go.
Go ahead and say it. Exactly. The Simon. The Simon.
I'm sorry. That was it. That's all. As a kid, that's all
Absolutely.
I thought of when I saw that.
Absolutely. I agree with you totally.
It was their first double album, only 70 minutes long. First double LP, showing off Lynn's ambition to blend all this music together. The Out of the Blue World Tour featured one of the most expensive stage setups you were talking about in the 1970s, a giant glowing spaceship.
It was
awesome. It cost around $1 million at the time. So, God, that's a lot of money back
awesome
then.
Show. It was
I bet. So ELO used real string players alongside all the stuff that they did. It was real people doing it. The vocoder, the voice synthesizer is on tracks Mr. Blue Sky and Sweet Talking Woman. It added that robotic harmony that you hear.
Yes.
Mr. Blue Sky almost didn't make the album. He nearly left it off because he thought it was too cheerful. Thankfully, he changed his mind.
Songs on the album.
Yeah, I know
probably the best song on the album, actually.
Jeff Lynne wrote and produced everything himself. A huge feat for a double album. And he was a perfectionist. He really is. He wanted that cinematic sound, which you can hear that. And Out of the Blue becomes ELO's best-selling album, studio album ever, going platinum, selling over 10 million copies. And guys, considered one of the biggest acts of the 1970s, ELO. And if you're listening to this, you go, BT, I still have never listened to ELO. We're going to give you the link. You can go to YouTube and you can listen to it. You know, we can't play music on here. They'll strike us real quick. So he can sing the whole thing. So hey, that was halftime. Here we go. We're going to go to side 3, or the second album in side 3. All right, so side 3 is all about a rainy day. It's a journey, starting with the first song, Standing in the Rain. I thought it was a solid way to open up side 3. I like this song.
You meld the first 2 songs, Standing in the Rain and Big Wheels, and that is your opera. That is the opera part of this album. Standing in the Rain has all those things that you would consider when you're looking at a rock opera at that time. That's what was really big in rock and roll and concerts right there, was doing rock operas. The Who was great at it. But when Standing in the Rain came on, it was like there was actually bump, 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 and it would just go through you, just the way that he had his stanzas all set up throughout the whole song. Standing in the Rain was probably, like I said, probably one of my favorite songs out of here, besides Mr. Blue Sky and Wild West Hero. I mean, it was one of those ones that caught me by surprise when I first listened to it. The very first time I listened to it, I'm going, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And then it just kind of it went into it itself. And as it, like I said, and as it melded into the next song, which the track ends, like I said, it's Standing in the Rain ends, and then Big Wheel Turning starts. There's a small little gap in it, but it could have melded just right into it.
Good song. Big Wheels, the next song. I love this line. I tried my best, all I could do, but somehow it was not enough for you. Man, I mean, this guy tried everything with this woman, and she turned him down or broke his heart big time. I'm thinking, man, that who hasn't tried their best? Even with friends, sometimes you think to yourself, man, I've tried everything. I've tried all I can do.
But it keeps spinning. On and on we go. And it just keeps going, man. And it's just like, man, you're just my hairs tingle thinking about this album because I was listening to it before we went on, just to get that vibe and everything, and it was just like, man, everything.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's I'm going to be I'm going to partake in some gummies and listen to it again, very loud.
It's just the way that
it's
just the way that the strings, the vocoder, the whole everything that he arranged on it was just so smooth, and everything just melded in with everything. And believe me, if you're a psychedelic person or want to take a little trip on a little Delta 9 or something like that, this is the way to
Remember,
go.
it's legal here, so we have it all going on here in Arkansas. Yeah. Summer and Lightning has some fun lyrics. I thought, I've waited for your love for so long. How do I go on? I've told you so many times. It's no good you treating me so wrong. This woman just broke his heart, and he's trying to get her back, and she will not listen to him at all. I kind of started feeling sorry for him at this point.
Here we go again. And she was just pulling him back, letting him out, pulling him back, letting him out, pulling him back. It's just,
sounded like Steve Miller Band at the very end. Do you get that?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm more pulled towards. I was just thinking about it too. I'm more pulled towards the Beatles tune on this one, but again, Tom Petty, could be there.
Yeah, I never thought about Tom Petty having this influence with ELO. I was a huge Tom Petty fan. Still am. I listen to his music, but you hear some of this stuff and you're going, hey, you mentioned, and he was part of with Tom Petty at one time, but the idea was I never thought about ELO and Tom Petty in the same breath. The grand finale of this side is Mr. Blue Sky. To me, also one of those reminded me so much of Sgt. Pepper's. I don't know why I keep saying Sgt. Pepper's.
Absolutely, Sgt. Pepper's. Absolutely, the radio intro, the whole pink of the piano, and just everything that the drum roll, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, just a great song. Mr. Blue Sky is right there on top. Right there on top of this whole album. In fact, when you don't want to flip the album, that's what it does, because that song is so good. You're going like, oh, it's over. Now I got to turn the album over.
I remember listening to a few of the Beatles albums, but I think the Sgt. Pepper's album was the one that it's probably my favorite Beatles, because there's just so much to it that I like.
Yeah, everybody likes the White Album, but Sgt. Pepper's doesn't fall too far behind it.
Very, very fun, very fun. Yeah. I even wrote a Foreigner sound until they got all the strings started coming in. So I've heard a little bit of everything. Yeah. So we ended that side with Mr. Blue Sky, and then we start up the last 4 songs on the album. You flip it over. We listen to the 4th side. Yep. Sweet is the Night. To me,
Bee Gees.
Bee
Gees.
See, I wrote this sounds like something Tom Petty would sing.
No, I think
Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan is at the very front.
Okay, I say Bee Gees, man. I don't know why, but I hear Bee Gees, and not the disco Bee Gees, but before the disco. Bee Gees. That's what I heard in it. I knew you were going to come on to that.
I liked it. I liked the song a lot. It's and then number 15, The Whale. Not a fan. My least favorite song of the album. Not a fan of this.
Whoa, depressing.
Yes,
depressing. It was definitely. I think that Jeff was looking for that. I really do. I think that he was kind of, I've taken you on this ride. I've taken you on this guy's heartbreak. I've taken you on this trip. I've taken you up to the highs. I've taken you up to the lows. I've taken you up to the heartbreak. It's time to come down a little bit.
Well, it says, this is so funny, but to me, it tells you, it tells you we're talking about a person that writes songs, because he said he didn't put any lyrics in this song because he wanted the listener, to just rather just think and just chill out for this part of that, for this part of the album, and I was like, man, that sounds so typical of somebody that's writing a song or writing music, the 16th song of the album, the second, was it the second?
Birmingham Blues.
The third song,
Yeah.
next to the last song, Birmingham Blues. I like this. Fun song, bluesy, rock.
All the way.
Good song.
All the way. Blues rock, man. That's where it comes, man. It's just that anybody can play it. It's 3 chords, easy as hell to play. It's probably one of the ones that he doesn't go all over the place on the fretboard because I play all these songs, and you're up and down the fretboard, and this one's just basically a bluesy song. And that's about it, man. If you got a lead player behind you, you can play this song all night long.
I like it. It's a fun song. The album ends with Wild West Hero. I put fun guitar work. It wasn't like my favorite song, but I didn't hate it. But they talk about it was all about ending everything and the freedom. I guess this was part of the living in the West and being that, the freedom that you had living in the West.
Yeah,
so
this was the end story of
the
whole album. He celebrates the fact that, hey, screw it. I'm going to go on with life and we're going to run it through. And I'm the Wild West hero.
I guess he spent all that time crying about this woman, but
he's all wish I was a Wild West hero, but he was the Wild West hero. He definitely rode the Wild West, man. Like I said, just a great song. Just I would say that, like I said, I find it hard to find a bad ELO song until you kind of get to Discovery, and the Discovery was really a good album too. I mean, but basically he went through a series of the 3 albums, New World Record, Out of the Blue, El Dorado, all just smash hits in my opinion.
I love the idea of being able to sit down and write all those songs all at once, and and just I love even with the podcast. When I'm working with the podcast, I love the creative part. I mean, I love sitting down here doing this. This is what I wished I was rich and had everyone doing all the other stuff for me. But I also I'm designing covers I'm doing this, and I love the creativity of it. Never could play music. I played the snare drum in band in junior high, but that
played something, right?
That's as far as I got. What was the best track on this album?
Oh, the best track on the album.
Your favorite?
God, the best track on the album. Oh, can I say all of them? No. Geez. I'd have to say I got 2. Believe Me and Stepping Out, because they run in together.
I love Stepping Out and also Jungle. For some reason, those 2 songs I could listen to over and over and over. I know Jungle's not one of the popular ELO songs, but I really like it. What was let's see where we at on questions. Looking back, do you think what was the first track you played over and over on this?
Oh, had to be Sweet Talking Woman.
Yeah, probably
had to be Sweet Talking Woman. That was the popular one at the time.
I'd have to agree. If I go back, when I went back to listen to just some of the songs, I started with that one. So do you think the album still holds up? I'm gonna say it does, since it was the first time I ever listened to it. Yeah,
absolutely. I've played it like 3 times since I've been trying. Since we got on the show, I'm like, I haven't heard that in a while. And I turned my my iPod on in my car, and I'm going like, why isn't this on my iPod? I hate Apple Music. Let me tell you something. When you put something on an iPod, you have it on your computer. Not all of it goes on your music player. For some reason, sometimes Apple just goes like, nope, we're not going to put that on there.
Hey, I'm going to tell you a secret. You have to kayfabe this now. I just got done working for a contract with Apple for 9 years. I know what they do.
And they replace songs on your computer.
Yes, they do. It's very, very interesting. You listen to one of them calls from a customer, man, we could talk about this, but you listen to the call about Apple Music, and then you try to coach that person on telling them what they're supposed to do, and you're thinking to yourself, I have no idea what the hell that person just said. Did this album shape your future music taste? Did you keep? Yeah, you just said earlier that you bought everything.
Jeff Lynne definitely, because I'm a songwriter myself. I'm a musician and a songwriter. So yes, he definitely he influenced me a lot. Him, Johnny Cash, George Strait, Hank Williams. There's a slew of people that have influenced my musical taste and the way that I write music, but Jeff Lynne has to be probably one of the top 3 out of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any track on here that you would just skip?
That I would skip? Jungle.
I'm gonna skip the well, so there you go. We're skipping the well, you skipping the jungle. I knew that was coming. I just knew it was. I did too much research on this album. Since I never bought it and just started listening to it, it was one of those things where I got to get some knowledge. Okay, so we have all kinds of ways of buying albums: vinyl, cassette, CD, or digital. You did get this on vinyl, right?
Yes, I got it on vinyl. I got it on 8-track. I got it on cassette tape, and I have it on CD, and now I have it on my iPod.
There you go. Digital too, 8-track. Oh,
I still have them all. So
one of the worst mediums of that we could ever get media use that 8-track. God, that was horrible. But it was in cars, man. I don't know if it was a cheap way to put a radio system in a car, but man. Can you remember the album you bought after this? I think you said this earlier, but
yeah, it was a New World Record. Right after that, I got New World Record. But I had a slew of albums before that. I think when we discussed and we were emailing each other before.
Yeah.
On my, I think it was my 14th birthday, my mom had bought me all kinds of albums, and the first one she bought me was Red Octopus by the Jefferson Starship. They had since bagged Jefferson Airplane and they named it Jefferson Starship, and I got Red Octopus and a couple more albums on top of that. So, but it was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me see. This is one of my favorite questions I like to ask. If this album had a smell, what would it be?
A smell.
What would this album smell like?
It would smell like fog. That's what I got. It would smell like a foggy concert room, really. I mean, because when you're at the concert, when you actually got into the concert, if the venue was right, and the venue that I went to was absolutely fabulous. It was inside the Oakland Coliseum, not the outside, but the inside, the Oakland Coliseum, and it was pretty much dark. I mean, it was the stage was hidden, so you didn't get the sense of. You just got the sense that you were going to see a band, but when everything kind of went down and all the lights came on, man, it was something to see. Just
wow. I wish that's one of those things where you never went to. ELO concert might have been. I remember. I was not a Metallica fan. I had a friend say, and it was during the Injustice for All tour. He said, "Hey, I got a ticket. Do you like Metallica?" And I was like, I've heard a little bit, but I'm not a fan either. He says, let me tell you, they made me a fan that night.
Did they?
I mean, that concert was just unbelievable. I had whiplash for like 3 days afterwards, banging my head, and they had the what is it? Lady Justice. The Lady Justice thing that's on the front of that album.
Right.
They had her in the backdrop, and then she fell and boom, boom, boom. And it was one of those things because my first concert was John Mellencamp, and he didn't have any special effects or anything, but he was a damn good.
I've been to a couple of Steve Miller concerts. Same thing.
Yeah, there you go. Would you recommend this album to anyone who's never heard it before? I guess
would
you kind of
recommend that album and the album previous and the album after that just as much as I would do this one. I mean, you have to experience ELO. You have to experience Jeff Lynne and his genius on his just able to arrange music the way he does. I mean, my co-host on the Weather Report, Ken, his father was an orchestra leader. So in order to be able to create music like that with all the different instruments and everything all in sync and all that is just, it's an art that I don't have. Of course I don't have. I can barely, arrange my guitar, so
We joked about we don't unplug anything on our boards here when we do podcasts. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. I don't want to do it.
No, I couldn't do anything like this. I love the creative process, and like I said, it was real 70s. The sound is there. The whole thing with to me the 70s. Was lots of weed, lots of psychedelics, lots of, and not that it's not anymore, but it is really one of those albums. Like I could see it at the laser show. I could see it with a good buzz. I could listen to it. If
I can make a statement, it was the transition from tie-dye to techno type of rocky.
Do you
stuff.
think so?
I really think so. I really think so. I really think that was kind of the turn of everything, because everything was kind of in the late 70s. All that stuff was turning. Okay, so Grateful Dead has been great forever. I mean, I still got friends of mine. I've got tie-dye in the background here. We're in my studio, depending on if I want to put up a green screen or not. But the thing is that that's kind of when everything kind of transitioned. Really,
I love that thought. I really do.
It was head to head with disco at that time.
Yeah.
So that was the whole.
And
thing.
And then during that time, you in the 70s, you had so much good music, but you had Kiss too, which was kind of the start of the hair metal, and people don't even think about that, but Kiss really did do that. And we talked about
arena rock and stuff like that. Yeah, all that stuff going into the 80s. I mean, this is all history. That's the one thing about it. I mean, ELO is history. It really is. I mean, you can go and you can talk about all kinds of bands. You could talk about Leonard Skinner. You could talk about, Marshall Tucker. You could talk about the Stones. You could talk about all of those. They all got a history that they rose up on, and ELO is one of those ones that changed history, I think.
Being from the South, huge Leonard Skinner fan. But I mentioned Rock 103. One of my favorite things of Rock 103 they used to play. There was an actual caller that called, and he said, "Hey man," he said, "can you guys play Freebird?" He sounded like Tommy Rich. "Can you guys play Freebird? Bubba just got out of jail. He just got out of jail." All right, here's what I want to do before we get off here. Bruce, I want you to plug all the stuff that you do. We met actually on X, and I've listened to your show. But tell everybody what you actually do.
Okay, well, I am the producer and the creator of the Weather Report, which is our Sunday night podcast with me and my co-host Ken Madden. And what we do is we do entrepreneurial, small business, and just all kinds of little fun things. But mostly we focus on entrepreneurs and small business. So if you want to go listen to somebody and find out what their business is about and find out how to get into business and be able to be prosperable as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, go to the Weather Report. And then I've got the Weather View, which is our body off the wall freaking daily show on X. In the morning show, I've got a cast of characters from all the podcasts that I listen to, because we have a nice little network of friends going on. That's called the Weather View, and you can get that on X every morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time. You can come in and you can be live with us, or you could just listen to the podcast on your favorite podcast network.
And it also features the Duchess is part of our cast of characters. Mm-hmm. We have a show called 5 Minute Time Limit. She's been on all 13 episodes of that, and is a good friend of mine. I really like the Duchess.
Yeah, the Duchess is top notch.
Yes, and speaking of, before I pull us out here, we're going to the Patreon. Okay. Subscribe, guys. But here's what the B-side, that's what we call it, is all about. Brought to you by the Duchess.
Coming up next is the Patreon portion of Hit Me With Your First Shot, B-side confessions, the After Dark bonus cut out of the episode. This is where the conversation goes a little deeper, a little wilder, and sometimes a little inappropriate. You've heard the main story. Now it's time for the confessions that didn't make the A-side. So pour a drink, turn the lights down, and get ready, because this track is strictly for the grown-ups.
Bruce.
Woo.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
All right, guys, same bad time, same bad channel on the best little best little music podcast in the business. Oh, let me see. Be there. I couldn't even remember catchphrase. And as everyone knows, and you're going to know this, Bruce, you're going to know it now, like everyone else does. I love my mama.
My mama.